I'm going to go ahead and call to order Richland County Recreation Commission's regular board meeting for November 20th, 2023. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Second. Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner LePayne,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey, Commissioner Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton. Yes. Motion approved.
Okay. Prior to that, I just want to say welcome to Taurus Lewis as our new interim director, executive director for Richland County Recreation Commission. As y'all might know, Taurus has extensive background with the commission, and we worked here 16 years previous to this date, and we are all very excited to have you here. So welcome, Taurus.
Thank you.
So I would like to request the board to approve the minutes from October 16th, 2023 and October 30th, 2023.
Make a motion. For October 16th and October 30th. Second.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner LePayne,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey, Commissioner Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Now it's time for our public input. I see some faces, so I'm hoping we have some people that have signed up.
We have one to speak for public input, however, she has not shown.
Okay? Good. All right. Do financial report? With Ryan and Sam.
Good evening, Chair Levine, members of the Commission Board. I'd like to begin tonight by providing you with an update on the General Enterprise Fund financials for the period July 1, 2023 through October 31st, 2023. The total revenues for the General Fund for a 4-month period were approximately $1.5 million compared to $1.1 million this time last year. Represents an increase of approximately $371,000 or a 34% increase. Property tax revenue was the largest driver for this increase. While our property tax allocation increased for fiscal year 23, the increase that we're seeing in our financial reports is largely attributed to the timing in which we've received revenues from Richland County. We have seen that grant revenues are up from this time last year, as we did receive some ARPA fund reimbursements at the beginning of this fiscal year. Program revenues for the 4-month period were $315,000 compared to $323,000 this time last year. Represents approximately $8,000 decrease in revenues or 2.4%. While the figures were fairly close to last year's numbers, parks and rental revenue was the largest driver for this decrease this year. General fund expenditures for this period were $4.2 million compared to $4.8 million around this time last year. Represents approximately 12.1% decrease or $578,000. The biggest driver for this decrease would be supply expenses, capital improvement expenses, and salary and fringe expenses. These are all down from what was incurred at the start of fiscal year 23. Additionally, as we discussed in the last meeting, to date, there's been one less pay period in the current fiscal year compared to fiscal year 23. Enterprise fund financials, revenues for the current period were $405,000 compared to $390,000 this time last year. Represents approximately $15,000 increase or 3.8% increase. The largest driver for that increase was our green and range fees. Total enterprise fund expenditures for this period, for 307,000 compared to 357,000 this time last year, represents approximately 13.8% increase or $49,000. The largest driver for that change was salary bridge expense, and again, it's largely due to there being one less pay period that we're comparing this fiscal year compared to last year. Were there any questions?
I do have a question, and I know you probably can't provide it tonight, but is there any way to get more of a, more detailed line item, submission where we can see more of what we're paying for,
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
opposed to this, just like a general number, just
Yeah.
curious.
I actually do have one copy.
You
That
don't
I
have to give it to me tonight.
Okay. Absolutely, I can provide that electronically. Thank you.
No unfinished business, right, so I think, the next area for action will be, statement of award for parking lots for Meadowlake, Hoffman Road.
Sure, Lincoln, board members, good evening. Actually, I have a few action items for you tonight, the one you just mentioned, Paisley parking lot, and also the justification for the sole. Budget. We started with the first. Tonight, I'd like to share with you and let you begin on what happens when we post the solicitation online. We're looking to get pricing and scope of work from contractors, in the parking lots in Middle Lake. For this procurement, we placed the invitation for bid for solicitation on September 15th on Skibo, RCRC website, or Command Star. On September 22nd, I held pre-bid conferences at each location. September 29th, the questions from the bidders were due by 10 a.m. And the bids were due October 6th. And putting that date, this was out for bid for 21 days. On October 19th, I did post an intent of award. That started the 10-day process for the protest period, and we did not receive protests. The intent of award letter was awarded to AOS Specialty Contractors Incorporated in Lexington for the total cost of $434,655. That is for both parking lots. Broken down, that is approximately $211,000 for Meadow Lake and $223,000 for Hoffman. AOS Specialty Contractors, they are currently under state contract with SCDOT. They're a certified minority-owned business. And they have several certifications with the DMV. They're a disadvantaged business enterprise, women business enterprise. They're also listed as SCDOT prime contractor. They're listed, certified as a local business enterprise with the City of Columbia, City of Charleston, and minority and women-owned business enterprise in the City of Charleston. So we'll get started with excuse me. I will start by saying there are quite a few photographs here, but they kind of speak for themselves. So I plan to research them quite quickly. But if you have any questions, or I'm going to ask, just leave them down. What we're looking at here is just repeated. You'll see this in both parks and around both of them. That the parking lots, just over the years, we've got this compiled and failed patchwork potholes. Some of them have gone through the entire layer of asphalt into the substrate median below. Um, One more, this, Meadow Lake is the parking area for disabled people. You can see there's a line that runs just right through there, making it quite inaccessible, you might say. Take a look at the next slide here. This is supposed to be a little entrance way onto the sidewalk between two disabled parking spaces, and you can see there's quite a bit of difference in the height of the substrates there. Here's another view of the same. Again, we've just got years and years and years of patches on top of patches, some of them going down below the asphalt. We've got cracked concrete sidewalks and curbs. There's a large section of the sidewalk on the side of the building. And you can see there's a good 3-inch difference in the elevation of the two concrete segments. And that's just another view of disabled parking. The statement of work that we got from AOS, what they plan to do there is remove all wheel stops and mill and remove existing all asphalt pavement. Now we'll stop there. I just want to stress on that second line item there. They're actually planning to remove all the asphalt and pavement. We were told immediately that we just try to actually go to this. It's just going to take time. Once that is removed, they're going to fine grade and subtract the existing stone base as necessary. Demo and replace approximately 10 foot of curb and gutter. Demo and replace about 200 square feet of sidewalk. And they're going to install a full 2-inch layer of asphalt for the entire area. And then of course we'll go back to speed bumps where they were, paint the pavement markings and return the wheel stops back to the driveway. During this construction, they've proposed the following, or excuse me, what you see here listed as temporary parking. At first, we thought we'd have to close the parking lots or reschedule games and everything. Realize that the facilities, they have brought this to our attention that they can do this to where we're not going to have to close the parks completely. They will put up cones, ramps to get the parking areas, caution tape, signs, whatever it takes, and while they're there. It's the Coffee Park, aerial view. As soon as you pull in, I'm sure you guys have all been there. The trees are quite beautiful, but they need to be trimmed, hanging down excessively well. That's also part of their plan is to cut these existing trees down, not down, I'm sorry, trim them. And this is what you're greeted with as soon as you pull into the parking lot. The first thing you see is a big pothole. I actually almost hit that when I entered the parking lot to take these pictures. But again, this is another one that has gone all the way through the existing asphalt. It's holding water and it's just great. The majority of the parking lot is what you see here. Just again, more and more patchwork on top of patchwork. Where you see the dirt, of course, is where the biggest concern is because that's gone down below the asphalt. And these will only get larger in time if not fixed. These are at the very front of the building right here. I think the pictures don't really give you scale, but these are good 3 to 4 inches deep. And if you see the sand around those potholes, that's actually sediment from standing water. So we've got some drainage issues in this parking lot, as well as when they are sitting in standing water, people driving through the parking lots just aren't going to see it. And more of the same. This is the right side of the building. There's a drainage issue on this side. I'll get to that in just a second, but you can see where there's sediment, standing water. Over here. Here is a day ramp for people to access the playgrounds. Got a big crack in it there that needs to be replaced. Here's what they propose to do for the drainage on that side of the building is put in a concrete drainage channel that will be ADA, compliant. Seemed to be the quickest and least expensive, option we could find all the way out there. This is on the other side of the building. This obviously retains a lot of water when there's heavy rain and becomes quite muddy and access to the fields. Very fast and he wants to walk through that. So they have included putting in what they call an asphalt apron, it's just an extension of the parking lot. Into that area. And this is the far left side of the building, just more same exposed gravel and more sediment from standing water. What they propose to do here is, first of all, I told you, trim the hanging limbs on the trees at the entrance, remove all the wheel stops, mill and remove the existing asphalt pavement. Again, that's all of the pavement, not just building the butt heads where it comes up to the concrete and can cause more flooding issues. 5 grade and compact the existing stone base if necessary, grade the edges as needed to allow positive water drainage. Install the ADA compliant concrete drainage channel that I showed you. And then pull 2 inches of asphalt on that, the asphalt apron, and put back the speed bumps, pavement markings, and wheel stops. Again, we will not have to close this park unless we choose to for this construction. They've proposed closing one of the one-way driveways leading up to the building and making one on the left side 2-way traffic, providing temporary parking in the field adjacent to that, and a walkway from that parking lot up to the building. This is just a copy of their statement. Turn out a little bit more resize based on the slide prior to that. Just a little touching base on what's the difference between doing a demolition resurface versus just an overlay. The greatest advantage of a complete removal and resurfacing over mill budding is the longevity of the new surface. The existing pavement is overlaid, all cracks, failures will eventually be reflected in the new surface. This reflective cracking or failure will usually happen quickly. I was told by a couple of people that showed up there that you basically see the cracks and the lines and everything within 6 months. Here. Also, when you do the milling at the butt joints only, that actually creates a pocket where water is just going to be retained there. The purpose is to make the 2 surfaces somewhat similar and but it actually becomes a problem. And if we were to go that route, they would not be under that. They would offer the industry standard 1-year warranty if we pave the entire surface after it's removed, and then they could inspect the sub base and preparing the product for, which would take care of any drainage issues that you saw with the sediment and standing water. And the project timeline on this is actually pretty good. It's just a few weeks. Board of contract, they can start the job within 2 weeks. And they basically want 2 weeks in each part for the week. And it's at our discretion which part for each. Any questions?
I do have a question. So if they award it, we're looking at possibly starting December 4th or December 5th. Okay. And then, while reading the scope of work, I see it says reinstall existing wheel stops. So I just want to be clear, we're getting new pavement. Are we going to put old wheel stops back and new ones, or are we going to get all brand new?
We agreed as a cost saver that we will stop. We can't have the rolling on. You guys would rather replace them all with this cost. Savings. So then they have a beautiful installation.
I just say that I travel to the parks a lot, and a lot of them are bust up by big trucks. They crumbled on the ends. I just, I don't know how everyone else feels. Me personally, if we're gonna do it, I would rather do it right all the way with the stops. But that was one of the things that caught my attention. And then everything else. is pretty much-
I agree with, Commissioner Jacobs on that comment. Quick question, I've got enough history dealing with parking lots that, for instance, back at Kaufman Road, I think it's Kaufman, that you showed that there was a drainage issue that you could put in a, who came up with that idea, who came up with that idea?
That was the contract that that day.
So I think what we're doing is great, and I think that we need to, I don't want to hold this back because I know we need to get this done. But also, I hate to spend $220,000 and still have ponding.
Right.
So in other words, I want to make sure that, you know, if an engineer needs to look at this and there's gradients that have to be, I just don't want to deal with this in 2 years and say, you know, we get a 1-year warranty and then all of a sudden there's obviously water coming down for some reason. So I want to make sure that we're just not being penny wise and dollar foolish, if you will. Like, I want to be smart. And if we have to have an engineer look at it before we pull the trigger, I just want to make sure that sediment's not going to keep coming down, that we're putting up the proper berms, that it's the package. Versus just do this nice beautiful parking lot for the next 2 years. And then in 3 years, you gotta spend another $50,000 to fix it. So that's actually the question.
I would have to get back with the contractor on that. It's something
Yeah. But I don't know what my fellow commissioners feel like on that comment. I don't want to hold back. But I don't want to, because I've seen too many parking lots that get, you know what I'm saying, indentions and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I just was noticing specifically, I think it was Kaufman Road where I saw this.
My question was, one drainage channel in that one corner near the,
that's correct.
so that's the only area you can identify as a drainage channel.
Yes.
Mhm.
I would just ask, that I think you're on the right track here and I don't want to hold this up, but I do feel uncomfortable. I just want to make sure that these parking lots are going to be almost perfect.
I have a question. If it's not possible, then we can do whatever. But can we pass it with the condition that they get an engineer to look at that particular part? Since Metal Lake didn't have that issue.
How do you know Metal Lake didn't have an issue? I'm just saying, I might be both of you.
I'm saying that, so that for all this time, when we have to wait long, we can do something possibly in a week.
I just don't want it done half-assed. Very bottom line. If it's done, we're spending $220,000 on the feet. Right.
I'm saying that, so I guess if that's not it, then we would do something. But they will still have to present whatever information that they get on the 18th. So if we're waiting on the 18th, then they
No,
can present.
I'm fine with that comment. Yeah, I'm fine. But just, like I said, I'm ready to move forward. I just want to make sure that
I agree with you. I'm just asking if we can get it done before the 18th. Then I'll wait till the
I don't want it done right.
I agree with you. Okay, you do it, you do it.
And I think that we're on the right path. So I think I would, Commissioner Molly or Jacobs, anybody wants to chime in here. Why don't you go back to the vendor and say, do they feel completely comfortable with the drainage issues there? We're gonna not have these issues when it's done. In other words, what's it called, when it's crowned? Does it crown properly?
Right.
Is the water draining? That's all I keep, just want it to be done right. And I want you to feel like, once you get this parking lot, you deliver it to us, that you're proud of it.
Mr. Chairman. As Attorney Dickey and I just discussed, of course, if you needed to have an engineer do more, you just have to change it. That would be the way-
Yeah, but you get charged on it.
that would be the way you normally do it. Now, the first one, it sounded like that was part of the original discussion of whether they be due or not. But if it was something out of the ordinary, a change order
Because outside the original grid scope that was.
I hate change
open
orders.
solicited. You can't go, we can't just go back after we've gone through the competitive bid process and change the scope of work. At this point, it would have to be an attempt to award, a hold on award, and then the CO.
All right, so I'm fine with, Commissioner Gaines or some, or the commissioner, let's just make sure we do it right. That's all I care about. If it's a change order, fine, it's a change order. Just- Change order.
Yeah, we gotta take a vote, change order. Probably the way to do it, and correct me if I'm wrong, would be to move forward as is. And then staff knows that if you need to change something that would be at the level of a change order, they would do that.
I think that
Listen to, hear from the engineer first.
Me personally, I'm a person that believes in firsthand. I'd rather have it, if we can get them here and talk to us about the process, but they, I'd rather call from Grove Park on regular. I know it's that in the spot that they're talking about, where it trains down. So I would feel comfortable if we did have engineers.
Let me say this. I'm not opposed to an engineer telling us, but quite frankly, I've been traveling these parts as well. And this didn't happen yesterday. This is years of these parking lots being like this. And so while I want to get it done the correct way, I feel like if we have the ball rolling now and we are able to do this and go ahead and get it initiated and still get the information that we need, one part doesn't need this. The other part does. So why not start with Metal Lakes first? Get the engineer to come and then do confidence when we get the information from the engineer, rather than stopping the whole process when this is years of the parking lot looking like.
Yeah, it's years. I agree. Somebody might doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously, Mike, got a lot of experience to deal with this issue. I think it would be, tell me if it would be easy to call up AOS and say, look, the commissioners, I don't think any of us have any problem with the money. That's not the issue. I think the issue is to make sure, would they have a recommendation to have it engineered and then repriced, or just, and if we have to have an engineer look at the civil side of this, I just, like I said, I mean, you're right, Hamilton, it's take years, but if I have to wait 30 days, make sure we do a right replacement, 220 or 300,000, I don't care. I just want Meadow Lake, and I've been calling it, be done right. So,
I think they would be very cooperative with that. I just think the best thing to do at this point would be to sign the award contingent on them bringing engineers in. I'll demand that, we'll do a change order to have an engineer in. In fact, I'll try to get that at no cost.
well, I don't have a problem paying the engineer, but I have a problem paying a 10% overage contingency fee. I mean, a change order fee for something we're doing up front. That makes sense. Because your contracts typically say, change order, you're gonna pay X% overage. Hey, I hate to do that. That makes sense. Yeah, we fight about it once.
Restart.
Well,
Yeah, you would have to restart the whole entire process if you decide to go that route. If, we're looking at the statement of award. Of the process. So to get what we're asking for, we would have to, vote for it this evening contingent upon, the approval of a change or amendment call. But the alternative is to return to the beginning of the entire process. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So in essence, if they don't agree to the engineering part of it, the contract is null and void, correct?
No, we signed a contract contingent,
It's contingent upon that.
then contingent upon what is it?
What you're asking for, you're asking for an engineer to tell you to look at and assess the drainage issue, correct?
Correct.
So if the engineer doesn't,
The engineer comes back and says, we need X, Y, Z and done. Right? I'm just saying,
right,
you might say it looks fine, we just need to do the one little thing, but you might also say, we need detention pond, we need to crown this, we need to put in a berm here, and it's gonna be another $100,000, right? Then I guess we're at the mercy of just doing it. Otherwise, we're making a contract. What I'm saying is, if we, once we sign a contract, we sign a contract, we have to live by it. Otherwise, we get sued. We don't sign a contract, then we can get our information up front, and then make another decision next month. Yes, it'll take another month. So, I can't vote for it, I've just made that decision.
that's fine.
But you guys can vote for it. I'm not.
I'll move on.
You know, table it, but,
yeah,
you know, if you wanna get a special call meeting in 2 weeks, bring it up, I'll call it, we'll do it on Zoom and get it done. That's my opinion. Sorry.
Right, it's hard for you.
No, I'm just saying, I know how hard ways to work and everybody, but my heart tells me it's not in the best interest of Richland County citizens, let's do it right. That's just me as a individual.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, procedurally, it's tabled, so you can take it up at the next
We get a
special.
special call meeting or regular. Whenever you get the answers.
Just take it out.
Okay, perfect,
But Mr. Chairman, I have a question for, Dwayne.
please.
Are we able, if we're able to, table this solicitation, and then if you're able, are you able to contact AOS in the interim to ask for this information? In the table that, us not voting it down and then having to restart the process? Are you
Maybe
able
we just
to?
table.
Well, you mentioned not voting for it.
No, I'm just gonna say table. I'm fine
Okay,
with table.
if we're able to table, this question, then are you able to contact AOS and, ask for the information? Running this channel?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Dwayne, and this is not as chairman, I'm just as an individual. And I say, is I just want to be comfortable. When you talking to AOS, we'll table it tonight. I said, and just cover with AOS. We have to get an engineer involved, but we don't want any sort of water issues. And how do we get to that point? I would assume engineer.
I'll make a motion that we table. And so,
Commissioner Anderson,
yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No,
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey,
yes.
Commissioner Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton. Motion approved.
Thank you.
I'd like to proceed with the next item, if that's it.
So you're gonna, want to go to the second part of this?
Yes, that's what
Okay,
I think.
thanks.
Yeah, the second one is the justification for sole procurement. We are seeking a used bucket truck, I should say pre-owned, keep costs down. We've had a couple people in the field looking at them for months now. They did find one at Alltech that they like to meet our needs. We got pricing on that. Alltech is under. Basically, this right across like this is one of the reasons that we did. And that was. My point is, putting something out a bit pre-owned, we're not going to get the same issues. Maybe better out there. Number one, because of all the variables and pre-owned vehicles. That basically, you have a Ford or a Chevy chassis. Very.
Exactly how much is the truck?
114,500.
Okay, and, Mr. Lewis, or Director Lewis, how do I address you?
Mr. Lewis. That's
Mr.
right.
Lewis.
Yeah, I'll thank you, take this for a minute as well. I had to have a time to meet with Ryan or the Wayne to let you. About the truck. We had some conversations, with the company management, with staff, and kind of some conflict issues. I was told that the truck may not be able to go on all the ball fields and parking lot. But this got a huge truck. I'm not sure that the best interest of the agency at this moment, so I would like to wait to Ms. Henley get back to meet with, Mr. Wayne, Ryan, myself, and Mr. Meeker, to let them sit down to discuss this, to make sure this is gonna be the right purchase for the agency. So as of right now, I have the invoices for the year. We spent about $7,500 contracting out to West Electric, to do ball field lights and parking lot lights. So right now, after next week, we should have no more activities on the ball fields. So we'll be going to a dead period. So that will give us enough time to, look into some more contract issues and see if we found a bill. Sort. I don't think that's a smart purchase for a new truck. But I would like to hold off on that for a while. So I collectively get some more information on it.
So does that need to be tabled or just, we just vote no on that now or we bring it back up?
Process of the procurement. So
I'll go and take it out.
I think I would table it so that it's not in any way.
So,
prevent you from
what I'd like to see, right?
You can table it. From that
Okay.
point.
And, Mr. Lewis, what I'd like to see is just a payback to the citizens or to the commission. So in other words, it's $7,000 through, let's say 5 months. And let's say it's projected to be 20,000. And it's gonna cost us 100,000. Then it's a 5-year payback. Are we better off doing something else that we need with that money? Or do you think this is smart? I'm not saying just like that in your next report or some maybe pre to that you can send out a report to us on what you think we should do.
I have some ideas.
Okay?
I'm curious, do we have the manpower to operate, this truck? Do we have the staff to know what they're going to use this truck for things like right now?
Question is, why would we buy a truck when we can get a contractor to do the same thing? If we buy a truck, we gotta have somebody to operate with a license. Things need to be leased or something. That's not a contractor. For the buy a truck. Okay, I'll make a motion to table this issue. Second.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine?
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey?
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. All right, so that was our new business, now we're moving to other business. Acting Executive Director, Horace Lewis.
Good evening, board. As you see in my director report, we have a few project updates. At Friars Gate Park, we have a contractor to rebuild a picnic shelter. However, we do not have a scheduled date as of yet. So we'll start now, we'll be working, to figure out when we can get a date scheduled to start the process of getting this, picnic shelter, built. Our deputy director, Ms. Williams, she sent a letter to the delegation, Senator Jackson, Representative Johnson, on 11/2/23 in reference to the Hopkins School. The board would need to solidify a date for the presentation of the quality feasibility study. The information. Also, a security fence at the back of the administration facility is currently being installed. Once the fence has been installed, all the agency vehicles will be moved back to the back of the agency to help keep theft down and vandalism down. As of right now, they have installed most of the fences and the posts and stuff. Right now, we waiting on some fencing and some other electronic items to come in. We're also waiting on a new invoice as well. There were some changes that occurred that we wasn't prepared for. But Ms. Henley and I were able to find the resources where we needed. So at this point, we will have to move forward with this. Currently, the IFB solicitation for the Turner Park and Kicking Park HVAC system ended on 11/17/23. Information is currently being reviewed by our procurement managers to move forward with this as well.
With IP stuff.
Information for business, for business. Section 2 and other items. Richland County Recreation Foundation Board of Directors agreed to have a lunch and learn work session to discuss the RCRC and the RCRF agreement. Hopefully this can be scheduled prior to the next board meeting. We also received correspondence that RCRC was not awarded the ARPA funds for the application that were submitted back in October 22 for the two categories of youth and recreation services and broadband services in underserved areas.
Did they have any reason why we weren't awarded?
No information as to why we were denied ARPA funds.
I wasn't given that information, but I can look into it and get it back to you.
Thank you, because I thought broadband services for underserved areas was one of the top priorities. Oh, that'd be good.
I'll look into it and get some information back to you. Item C, Richland County Recreation Foundation received the hospitality tax county promotion grant in the amount of $8,375 for the 2024 Jazz Fest. This event will be held on Saturday, April 13th, 2024. There's a rain makeup date for April 20th as well. Something new that's been added to the director report, section 3 is the recreation activities. Athletics has registered 552 participants for our winter basketball league. Practices will be on 11/27/23. Games will be played on Friday and Saturday mornings. The season began on 12/8/23. This past weekend at Bluff Road Park, Mr. Howard Thomas led an initiative with 14 youth beach mode volleyball tournament. There was 8 teams that participated in this tournament. The event was well attended and it was very, very successful. Park Lane Adult Activity Center will host a inaugural Wonderland Holiday Ball on 12/15/23 from 6 to 10 p.m. here. Tickets can be purchased for $30 per person or $55 per couple. That's the end of my director's report.
So, yes, can I ask you one?
Yes, sir.
So, couple things that we've been doing, we got this action item list at the back of our report. So generally when we have, public input, we put those into this and then we try to react. This is Roach, who I think is here tonight, came to us last October, 2022, January, and discussed the need for paving, and it's a year later. And we almost got this, but, you know, I'm just saying, so hopefully as we move forward, we can really start to hone in on these items. Start getting to take care of the citizens. And frankly, you know, you could maybe expand upon the security fence being installed. It's my understanding, was there originally somebody that drove a truck through there? Or how, what's wrong with the security fence?
From my understanding, somebody drove a truck through the maintenance, yard. And
Okay.
took a trailer, from my understanding. But this security fence will, secure the back parking lot where the cars were originally parked at, as well as the maintenance security yard as well. So there was a total of 3 gates going up back there in that area to secure, our equipment and vehicles, along with security cameras in it as well for another measure of, security.
Okay, but I don't think our board I didn't ever know about this. And it's troubling to me that I never knew about this. And now, all of a sudden, this is probably, in my opinion, how expensive of a process is this to fix these fences? You have an idea? And I know, I'm putting you on the spot, I'm sorry, because this is your first week on the job, so what I'm saying is, this is probably a big ticket item that we have to do to fix these fences that none of us as commissioners ever knew about. And like I said, we don't want to get into day-to-day activity, but yet it's probably a $30,000, $40,000 or $50,000 issue. And I just want to make sure that we're doing it right. Again, with fencing and cameras, that's the way to go versus possibly looking into electric fencing, whatever it may be. I just need to protect our assets. And want to know how.
Well, I totally agree. When I started this past Monday, they was already in the beginning of the installation of this process. So I was able to meet with Ms. Henry, and her staff to kind of get a better understanding of what was the reason for the fencing, and they told me why. So I did go out and talk to the installers, but of course they installers, they're just installing it. But the measurements, after me reviewing and looking over it, it should be significantly decreased in a vandalism of theft, based on what they selected to be done. But I can assure you, moving forward, I would definitely keep the board in tune with issues like this, so you all can be in the know of it.
Put out bids.
I don't think you hit that criteria.
It didn't meet the criteria for bidding.
Has the trailer been replaced that you know of?
No.
The trailer has not been replaced, however, I did file a claim for submission to be reimbursed. We do have $1,000 deductible. Good evening, board.
Evening.
We did not, receive the funds yet from the insurance company, however, I did submit a claim for the fencing. I apologize that you guys wasn't aware of it. If you would like to see it, I actually have the video of the actual theft in process. Just to kind of give you a piggyback of Mr. Lewis, the reason why we needed the fencing, approximately about a month ago, and I think Ryan can back me up on this, I received a letter from State Fleet. We've had approximately 98 catalytic converters that was attempted or stolen, which resulted in a cost of $127,000. Should we get another instance, we have been informed that from now on, the agency will be responsible for payment. As of right now, when these thefts occurs, it goes back to state.
So, how does this, is this pretty typical of all agencies, or is it just that we don't have good security compared to other agencies? Or,
It's typical of all agencies. We're not the only one that's being hit.
because I'm kind of typical.
Yes, Richland County Sheriff Department. as Well, so, but we have substantiated a lot. We took a hit a lot. I have a record of everything that was stolen from the time that I became the management, and the cost was astronomical. So we have to do something to protect us.
Do you know about your golf cart?
Yes, sir, I am aware of the golf carts.
Do y'all supposed to tell us about it?
We should. You should be notified anytime a theft occurs. Well, we've been having thefts in golf carts and over a while. The golf course took our recommendation. We installed some additional fencing as well as,
I think you do risk management report, don't you?
yes, ma'am, I do. It's included
Weekly basis or
monthly.
monthly basis?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think it's copies.
Sure.
Yeah, we got aware of all.
Sure.
I think there's no reason to, we're not beating up on anybody, anything like that, and I'm excited for Taurus, Mr. Lewis. Just, we're moving in a new direction, and we need to just make sure that there's a lot going on, and the safety and security, golf carts being stolen, parking lots. And I think it's us as commissioners, we don't want to hinder the advancement of our parks and recreation by any means. I think that we just want to be smart about how we do it in a way that, we get information in to us and how we can give it back out to you expeditiously to make these things happen. And I can tell you that our board, on any of these items, if we have to have a special call meeting to discuss it at lunchtime on Zoom, we will all be happy to do it. So we will not, Commissioner Jacobs with on the road and another, we do not want to hold off. We just want to do it right. And I'll be the first one on the call to set this up with our group, our commission. Because we don't want to be that group anymore that is holding back Richland County with recreation. We're moving forward in the direction as it is. I'm excited.
Thank you all. I'm in a position one of these things, so as you move forward in preparing the reports, keep us abreast of the security issues that you're working on, and just how you mitigate that. You know that you have a team that's working, and we may not need to go into the minutia of it all, but we certainly would like to know if there's a major theft or loss. Community like that. So we know that that loss, it wasn't unique to RCRC. I think it's just hearing the size and the impact that the agency saw. And that they've been moving. It wasn't. But thank you. We should do your thing. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm done.
Good evening. Okay. Good evening, Chair Lapine, members of the Commission Board. I'd like to say thank you to our amazing staff for all of their hard work and dedication. We appreciate you for everything you do to make this agency successful. I would like to acknowledge our commissioners. We thank you for your attendance of our programs and events. I will highlight events from our previous board meeting, which was on Monday, October the 16th through today, Monday, November the 20th. Unfortunately, because of the length of the presentation, I can't acknowledge each staff member by name. Okay, on October 20th, we had the volunteer appreciation luncheon at the Valentine Community Center. We had 23 participants. On October the 21st at Blackwood Park, we had the pink pumpkin contest. We'd like to say congratulations to Edwina Davis. She was a winner. She won a gift card and a pink gift bag for her pink pumpkin. They had 10 attendees. The Gang Awareness Hoop Fest was held on October the 21st at the Bluff Road Park. They had about 200 people in attendance throughout the day. I'd like to say thank you to Richland County Sheriff Department, Sheriff Leon Lott, 5th Judicial Court Assistant Solicitor Stephanie Taylor, Richland County Coroner, Ms. Rutherford. We'd also like to say thank you to Representative Jermaine Johnson, who played in the game, and also congratulations to Commissioner Hamilton Jacobs, who also played in the game. And looking at the picture, it looked like his team won. So we'd like to say congratulations. And we say thank you to the staff at Bluff Road Park. You said you played about 2 minutes?
Yeah.
All right. 2 minutes.
Good.
Knowledge on October 22nd at Meadow Lake Park. We had the skills and drills football. And we'd like to say thank you to County Council District 7, Gretchen Barron. She sponsored this event. We also like to say thank you to Carolina's Panthers for providing the equipment. We had over 130 participants in this event. So great job to all of the staff involved. RCRC hosted several Halloween events. We'd like to say special thanks to District Supervisor Randolph Anderson. He secured free Halloween items from Community Keys, and those items were used throughout the agency. And at the first Halloween event that was held at Gaston Park on October the 27th, and they had 65 participants. They had fall into autumn candy pickup at Killian Park on October the 27th. Also, they had 30 attendees. They had a trick-or-treat drive-through at Eastover Park, also on the 27th, and they had 40 attendees. We had Fun Fest and Frightsville at North Springs Park, and that was a 2-day event on October 27th and the 28th. We had more than 600 people in attendance. We'd like to say a very special thank you to Spring Valley High School students for assisting and volunteering. We also want to say thank you to the best division in the agency, which is the community relations team. We also want to say thank you to risk management and property management for your assistance, and thank you to the North Springs Park staff. The Halloween Clean Glow Party was held on October 30th at Blythewood Park. They had 15 trick-or-treaters in attendance, and those were ages 11 to 14. At Polo Road, they had the Polo Blackout Candy Crawl on October 31st, and they had over 100 participants to come in for treat. At the Valentine Community Center on October the 31st, they had a Halloween costume party with 30 people in attendance. On November the 2nd, they had a Make Your Own Wreath at Gaston Park Community Center with 20 participants in attendance. In honor of Veterans Day, the Donis Ferry Adult Activity Center hosted a free brunch and health fair on November the 9th with 50 participants. On November the 15th at the Hopkins Park Adult Activity Center, they had a Thanksgiving program. Dr. Jermaine Johnson was the guest speaker. Commissioner Hamilton and Commissioner Lindsay greeted the attendees with words of thanksgiving. On this past Saturday, we had a turkey giveaway at North Springs Park. We helped feed 110 families. This event was sponsored by County Council Vice Chair, District 9, Jessica Mackey. We'd like to say thank you to our Executive Director, Mr. Lewis, for his attendance. He was handing out boxes, as you can see there. He almost handed out all 110, but he did get some assistance. We'd like to say thank you to our Deputy Director, Ms. Tamika Williams. Thank you to Commissioner Singleton for your attendance. We'd like to say thank you to the Richland County Recreation Foundation Board members, Mr. Thomas Clark and Patrick Barber, they were in attendance. We'd like to say thank you to the North Springs Park staff and to risk management staff for their assistance in this event. And as Mr. Lewis mentioned, the Thanksgiving Feast Mode volleyball tournament was held also this past Saturday. And there were 280 people in attendance. I'd like to say thank you to Richland School District 1 Board Member Tamika Myers, who's in attendance, and also to Representative Jermaine Johnson and Mr. Lewis. Thank you to the staff at Bluff Road Park, and we'd like to say congratulations to Lake Murray Volleyball Club 14U Elite. They were the winners. Family giving was held at St. Andrews Park. They had collection day for non-perishable food items from October the 1st till November the 17th. Those items were given to Sister Care. And we'd like to say thank you to Community Relations Development Manager Lisa Lewis Hutcherson. Today, she honored 2 of our community partners for their contributions to multiple events at RCRC. So we'd like to say special thanks to Riley Fields from the Carolina Panthers and to Seth Bennett from Charlotte Hornets. They were awarded awards today for their contributions to RCRC. Our upcoming events. On November the 27th, we'll have fall candle making event here at Park Lane AAC. And December the 2nd is a very busy day for the agency. We have several events. We'll have the Teen Empowerment Summit at the Donis Ferry Adult Activity Center. We'll have breakfast with Santa at St. Andrews Park. And we'll have Ugly Christmas Sweater Party at Bluff Road Park. Also on the 2nd. On the 3rd, at the Gaston Community Center, we'll have the Gaston Tree Lighting Celebration. We'll also have the Richland County High School Player of the Year Football Awards and Banquet at Seawell on the 6th of December. On the 9th, we'll have the 2nd Annual Senior Christmas Ball at Eastover Park. And on the 13th, we'll have Christmas celebration at Hopkins Park Adult Activity Center. Also on the 13th, we'll have Senior Holiday Luncheon at Bluff Road Park. And on the 15th of December, we'll have How Polo Stole Christmas at Polo Road Park. And this concludes my very lengthy report, and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
We don't have an executive session. Mayor Bob, do you have anything to say?
You can go directly to, sure.
All right. All right, make a motion for adjournment.
Second, I'll make a motion to adjourn. I second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yeah.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey, Commissioner Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Motion approved, meeting adjourned.